Big thank you to Edwin Balaloy, he's the best.
Thank you so much, Edwin. We found our home. You helped us make it easy throughout the whole process.
Hi, I'm Edwin Balaloy of midriseliving.com. In today's segment, I'm going to cover what happened in September for the overall condo and townhome market, and then I'll get into specific information in regards to Chapman Commons, the domain of Anaheim, Lewis and Mason, Harbor Lofts, and Stadium Lofts. Now, the elephant in the room happens to be the higher interest rates. Just like gas prices, they seem to just keep going higher and higher, and now you're seeing 30-year fixed mortgages in the 7s today. Bad news for affordability, and especially if you're looking to move up into a larger property. But the good news is, in terms of a historical reference and compared to other slower markets, we're still in a seller's market technically, and then we're still seeing homes go into escrow, we're still seeing homes sell. So there's definitely still buyers out there, and if you wanted to sell, there's a strategy to get your property sold, and we'll talk more about how long it's taking to do that in your building. For the overall condo market, inventory rose compared to September of 2021 by 34%. And then when looking at condo inventory month over month, inventory actually fell for the second consecutive month. I've said in prior videos that inventory usually peaks over sometime in the fall and then goes down all the way until about the springtime of each year. So that's the cycle year over year, but then it's always appropriate to compare what happened last year versus right now, just to see how the overall market is trending. And speaking of overall inventory, one thing I always try to keep an eye on just to get a feel for how resale will perform is how new construction is performing. And at this given moment, there's the Towns by Toll Brothers, and then there's a community called Aaliyah in A-Town, which is right next to the stadium. Both of those builders are doing more aggressive things to bring down prices and then have incentives like a rate buy down where someone could get an interest rate as low as 3.5%. I've personally had some deals in some other communities nearby, and we were able to get $40,000 off of the list price. So definitely keep an eye on those things, because the buyer tends to always go to new construction where they're viewing models over resale, and then that's really always a force to be reckoned with. Now let's talk about what's happening in each community. For the average time to sell, just about all of them are taking about the same amount of time. The Harbor Lofts looks like it spiked, but then that's really not representative of what's actually happening. There was one data point where it says over 34 days on the market, when in actuality it fell out of escrow, and the way the MLS works is it keeps counting. But then for all practical purposes, condos aren't sitting on the market when they're priced to sell. In terms of sales activity, all of the communities are about the same, with the exception of Stadium Lofts, where we have 18 sales year to date versus 29 sales over in 2021 when we're talking about this same period. And then just for added reference, 2019 had 28 sales, so you get to see that there's definitely been a slowdown in terms of Stadium Lofts, but the other communities so far have been keeping pace with the prior years. And then let's talk about listings taken off the market. That's when someone wanted to sell initially, and then for some reason they either expired, where they didn't get the offer that they wanted, or they canceled it before the expiration period. Stadium Lofts leads the pack, going from 7 listings taken off the market compared to only 2 last year. All the other communities are seeing about the same amount of homes taken off of the market. And then in terms of rental activity, all buildings have seen an increase, and all the buildings, as far as the apartment buildings go around the area, have seen increases as well. Just keep in mind that some of these have pretty limited data points. The domain of Anaheim so far only had 1 rented so far, even though there's 2 active rentals on the market. But then as far as what it actually rented for, it did rent for a lot. And if you want more information, just send me a message and I could tell you more specifics about your community, of what your property might rent for if you're a landlord or you're thinking about being a landlord. Again, I'm Edwin Balaloy at midriseliving.com. Text or send me a message for more information about your your property. I could send you also specific valuations about your property.